Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, we are doing a send-off for the eBay vault. It was a great time. It was a short time, but onwards and upwards. I have a few hundred items, both between my own and consignor items that are available for sale. Affiliate link in the description below. I will do kind of here a little bit of a recap over the eBay vault, how it went, what I'm going to do to pivot my business moving ahead. So it's not completely a self-promotion. It is partly a self-promotion. It is partly a promotion for my consignors, their final send-off for the eBay vault as well. And as with any auction block, I mean, auctions are inherently wide varying. And I think there's going to be some deals out there. So for the shrewd buyer, for the collector, for the business flipper, I feel like looking at this block will have some value to different people out there. So I figured I'd just put it all out there, put it in a video, see what we end up with. So this is like the capstone item. This one is my personal item. It was in that $54,000 collection that I recently bought. I paid about 80% of comps. It's going to be interesting. Several items from that lot already sold between 90 and 100% of market price recent sales. So I've gotten a fair bit, 5 figures out of that collection, but I've not gotten the full $54,000 back. This is a big cards toward that. Where this ends up, I'm sure some individual items, I will lose money. Some individual items will probably go sub 80% of what I paid, like sub 80% of what we pegged the market value at. But overall, I think I will have done well in hindsight. Maybe I will do a video to recap that. Let me know in the comments if you want to do that. But yeah, what I'm going to do, 2 parts for this video. I'm going to quickly go through like the 10 premier items. I will be doing Instagram stories all week to highlight these items for myself, for the consignors, trying to get the best prices possible. But as always, some of these will slip through the cracks. There will be some deals to be had if you're out looking to collect, maybe flip off of any of these cards. So keep an eye out for sure. Affiliate link in the description below. There we go. This is going to be another capstone item. This one, interestingly enough, my consignor decided to put it on sale. I paid them out. I asked them if it was fine. I'm paying them out the amount that they would have netted had it sold at the buy it now price, and I'm YOLOing it to auction myself. So the consignor fully had it paid out. Will I make money? Will I lose money? I mean, I paid out 98% of what they had it listed at, because, or yeah, sorry, 96% due to my 4% fee, sub $10,000. But it'll be interesting to see how this one goes specifically. I'm sure the consignor will keep an eye on it, whether or not it would have sold via the buy it now, whether or not they could have just auctioned it themselves and made more money, made less money, who knows, but that'll be an interesting data point. That one in particular too, you might see that it shows right here, start time. This one didn't get the full 10-day treatment from Thursday to the following Sunday. This one is going live on Sunday for a 7-day, whereas the vast majority of the items will be getting the full 10-day treatment. A lot of these you will see have some amount of bids. I'm recording this on Friday night, so you'll see this on Monday when there's about 6 days left in all these auctions. Another great consignor piece, CGC 10 Neo Lugia first edition. So you'll love to see that. Some great pieces here. A lot of, maybe a couple that will get into the 5-figure territory, several in the 4-figure, high 4-figure territory. I mean, dozens and dozens probably in the 4-figure territory. So here on another absolute banger, it's an Arita signed BGS 8.5. So the card is graded 8.5. The auto is graded 10. You also have the sketch. Great. Tons of Arita autos. I wouldn't say tons, but several Arita autos, several great Arita autos. There are Celebrations autos. There are base set Shadowless. There are various promos that are Arita signed. Very great selection of autos if those are your thing. E-Lottos, Ernesto, maybe you'll be able to get a deal here, maybe not. We're up to 2271 with 8 days to go at the time that I record this. Grand Party PSA 10. A lot of Japanese promos. We've got some mid-era, some chase cards. We've got some vintage Japanese promos. We've got some ultra-modern Japanese promos, as we saw with the first card. We've got some Yu-Gi-Oh! We've got some sports. We've got some Magic the Gathering as well. We got a PSA 10 Alpha Magic the Gathering. And then we have base first edition. A little bit of everything going on here. I believe I have 1 or 2 more cards. Another mid-era great card. PSA 10 Scyther EX from Teen Rocket Returns. And a Masaki Omastar PSA 10. Very hard card to get in a PSA 10 grade. So there are some of those cards. I'm gonna go through. We'll see how long it goes. I'm gonna scroll relatively quickly, but that was like the premiere version. This is everything. So you will see duplicated. You will see everything I showed you already, but you will also see. I think I have about 280 items in total, ending on Sunday the May 26th. And so if you're on the Eastern time zone, as I am, they will be ending between 9 p.m. Eastern Sunday night, the 26th, and they will be ending the final one, the capstone item, the 279 XYP, that will be ending at 11:30 Eastern time. And then if you're on the Pacific time zones, 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Sunday the 26th. So be sure to check those out if you're interested. And we're just going to scroll through. Again, tons of autos, promos. We got very unique older Japanese promos, first edition. We got some alt arts in there. I don't think that one came from the 54K collection. That's just another one I happened to get elsewhere. I believe I actually bought it off someone who consigned cards through me. We've got some of these cards, the Japanese Champions Festivals, that have seen massive price slides from the past couple of years. 2 years ago, I was really grinding these cards hard and doing big things. Another card that takes me back to 2021 or so. Really did well with a lot of the staff cards. Wish I had liquidated them all a lot quicker. We got all kinds of great things here. I'm not going to go card by card because we have a few hundred to go through. But yeah, looking into the future as I scroll further, I will have, I believe the most likely scenario, I will have at least, probably no more than, but I will likely have 2 options for buy it now consignments. Buy it now consignments have always been my core thing, but one thing that I've always realized, but partially due to a new platform that I'm exploring, partially due to my own desire to increase my own turnover. I think one thing I was spoiled with from 2014 to 2019, 2020 was that the prices generally trended up. And when the prices are generally trending up, actually right there, you got a nice top 8 stamped Ultra Ball reverse holo from the OCICs. So 2014 to 2019, there was a general tailwind. I've mentioned this many times, but there was a general tailwind in the hobby. And when you list a buy it now, if the prices are going up, naturally things will just be bought over time. Your turnover will remain high just due to the fact that the prices are going up over time. You list it at $50, the market is at 40, it goes to 60, somewhere in between those 2 points, it's going to get bought, right? Whereas if the market's flat, slightly down, or flat and slightly down, those items will tend to linger. Those items will obviously need more energy put into them. They'll need to be repriced. They may need to ultimately have offers sent, be auctioned. And it's never going to be my sole thing. I always want to have that niche of offering a buy it now consignment that is less frequently offered by others. You've got your Z&G Emporiums, your Probesteins, your DC Sports. You've got the PSA Vault incoming. PSA will in the future, it sounds like, have buy it nows. But initially, because auctions are more ubiquitous, auctions are more high demand, a much larger market share, that's where PSA Vault is starting. And then they will add buy it nows in the afterthoughts, I guess, when they get to it. But me personally, buy it now has always been the main thing. I will have an eBay buy it now service, pending what negotiations go with them, conversations go with eBay. My rates are still up in the air for that. I am actually actively in discussions with PWCC as well. So PWCC is a service that many of you have likely heard of. Bought by Fanatics a few years ago, separated from eBay a few years ago, about a year or two, I believe, before they were bought by Fanatics. But a lot of people use them, and they have dealer programs. They have ways that I will be able to work with them at a high scale, and I will be able to offer to the public, offer to my consigners, a lower, more competitive rate than if you go directly yourself. That's the whole value proposition of a consigning service, along with the socials, along with the trust, along with the insurance, all those other policies they have. But working with PWCC, rates to be determined, rates to be announced, more things to come on that. Same thing with eBay. Before I take anyone's cards in and then offload them to a third-party platform, I mean the eBay Vault included in that, the PWCC Vault included in that, I need to test it, and I need to know and trust and believe in it myself. So eBay, easy. I've been here 20 years. I've been doing my thing. My account just turned 20 years old about 2 years ago. Next year, it'll be able to have a beer with me. But But PWCC, I mean, I utilized them back in 2020 when all the mania happened, when the bubble, all that crazy stuff happened, and my collection, my inventory 10x, 20x overnight. I chucked out. I actually looked at my PWCC account. I sold 1,200 items through them. I sold well into the six figures through them. I liked a lot of things about it. Overall, eBay, I was pointed towards more because it meshed better with my business and that. But more and more I've been finding in the past several months with the eBay vault being there, one play that I tried making was to buy mid to high end slabs through PWCC and then sell them on the eBay vault for 0 fees. I did have some success, but my bid winning ratio, trying to buy things at 80, 85, 90% of market to just sell on eBay vault at 100% of market, I was surprised. I was surprised how many cards I did not win at 90% of market. I was surprised how many times I bid on 50 items, 40 items, 30 items, and only won 1 or 2. Some weeks that I won none at all. So one thing that I did find in recent time is that PWCC actually achieves quite high prices. And if PWCC is not for you, my potential future PWCC consignment service might not be for you either. And that's perfectly fine. As with any other product, it will be there. If you're interested, reach out, consign with me, feel free to. Details to come in the future. And if you're not interested, that's perfectly fine. The eBay buy it now, consignment will be there. PSA will have the PSA vault. I mean, the other aforementioned services that I mentioned earlier that offer auctions, maybe in the future, some of them will offer buy it nows. As always, I'm not forcing anyone. I'm not going to try to coerce anyone in. But I think that I do offer a good value proposition, having the experience selling things, having, however small it may be, some amount of name and face familiarity in the community. Everything that I do is fully insured, fully guaranteed, signature on the package to my P.O. box, signature on the package to potentially my PWCC vault. Everything will be fully insured every step of the way. Very quick communication, answering all my messages. So yeah, just kind of like thinking out loud, talking out loud on the crossroads that I'm currently at. I feel like the most likely scenario is that I will have multiple services out there, primarily focusing on buy it now. But one thing that PWCC will allow me the opportunity to do is similar in the way that the eBay vault allowed me to do, but even more so. PWCC, if I go ahead with it, nothing certain has been set in stone. Nothing is set at this point, but I'm just throwing it out there later in a video to give me some feedback below. Do you utilize PWCC? Are you eBay only? Do you not care about PWCC whatsoever? But yeah, one thing they give me is the ability to kind of scale higher. So I'm a one-man operation, and one thing I've talked about many, many times is leaning on other companies, business to business, to be able to increase my scale, increase my capacity. So not only will I be utilizing PWCC to offer consignments, more competitive rates to other people, I will be leveraging the sales volume that I get of my own items and selling consignor items, kind of like a joint effort working together to get me into those higher tiers, to get those lower rates, and be able to subsidize my own selling of my own flipping endeavors. Because one thing I'm never going to become entirely, or one thing that I don't intend to ever become entirely, I shouldn't say never, but I don't believe I'll ever do it, is becoming only consignments. I really enjoy buying, selling, flipping. I really enjoy that process. Again, a 20-year-old eBay account. I've done coins, I've done steins, I've done video games. I've done a little bit of everything over the years. So I always think that will have a place in my business. And then me, if I do enter into business with PWCC, I will still have the eBay linked below, affiliate linked below. I will still be doing certain things on that platform. It's just, I might diversify to some extent. There are those sayings of put all your eggs in one basket and watch that basket very closely, which there are certain businesses out there that clearly utilize that methodology. And then there are other businesses that utilize the, hey, don't put all your eggs in one basket, spread it out. I made a video a long time ago, which I will try to remember to link above. I have small amount of income through social media, through influencer type things, even though I would not remotely call myself an influencer. Very small percentage points coming from Patreon, from YouTube, from affiliate link revenue, potentially partnerships, advertisements in the future, but none so far. And little bit of merch too. But the vast majority of my business comes from flipping directly my own stuff. And then somewhere in between the two, it was a growing thing up until the eBay Vault news. It's going to have a nice week with all these auctions ending. But consignments are a thing that have been a growing part of my business, and a little bit of a speed bump in the road. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes moving ahead. I will be communicating in future videos, surely. I will do shorts. I will do social media posts on Instagram. I will update my website with future rates and conversations around that. But some of it's just kind of in negotiations, in flux with the various platforms. So stay tuned on all of that, I guess, if interested. That was page 1. So now I will go to page 2. At the bottom, I think it's going to show my... So yeah, we'll work from the end of the block back. Kind of some of the capstone items, again, ending at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Pacific. Very interested to see how this one goes. I think we comped it at 9,000. I paid 80% of the comp, so I paid 7,200 on that card. Let's see if I get wrecked. Let's see if I don't get wrecked. Consigner card right here. You'll love to see it. Very, very expensive card in PSA 10. Obviously, this is a CGC 10 gem, but we'll see how that performs. We've got the Nintendo, Mew Error. We've got some great full art. We got some Chinese promos. We've got all kinds of things going on in this auction. This is by far, probably something in the title will allude to this, but this is by far the biggest auction I have ever had. Maybe in the future, through PWCC, and one thing PWCC opens the door towards, consignment plus grading. I don't want to use James E and G Emporium. He used to in the past have consignment plus. I'll have to come up with my own name for it. But you will have the ability, if I go down that path, if I go that route, to send raw cards in, have them graded with various grading companies. Stay tuned for information on that. But have them graded with various grading card companies and then sold on the PWCC platform. Some amount buy it nows, some amount auctions, at a subsidized rate relative to what you can do on your own directly as a member of the public with PWCC, because of my potential future larger scale operations and being able to get lower rates with higher sales volume. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I mean, one door closes, a window opens, all those cheesy things that you can say. I can't say that I'm not disappointed that the eBay vault is ceasing to exist as the way that it was advertised, as the way that we thought it was going to be in the future, 3% buyer's premium. But you can't sit around and cry about, oh man, Troll and Toad Evo closed. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna update my CV, update my resume, and go back to engineering. Oh man, the eBay vault closed. Oh man, MetaZoo died. All these things that I've hitched my wagon to partially. Obviously, MetaZoo, very small amount. Obviously, eBay vault, Troll and Toad, much more. I mean, Troll and Toad Evo, much larger connection between me and that service than I had with the eBay vault. Given enough time, I mean, I would have pivoted much more towards the eBay vault than I had Troll and Toad even, likely. But yeah, I mean, things change. You adapt or you die, and I'm not about to die. I'm not about to update my resume. I'm not about to go back into the workforce, the standard 9-to-5 job. I'm very excited to be my own boss, having a fun time. You got some black labels in there too. Very excited to be doing what I'm doing. As I said earlier, you got a little bit of sports in there too. Nice T-Mac card. Brings me back to the NBA Live days, early 2000s NBA Live games. I used to play a little bit of Houston Rockets, Tracy McGrady, raining those threes down. But anyways, yeah, very excited to see what the future of Catch 'em All Collectibles holds. You got the nice E-Lottie right there. Not the entire E-Lottie set of 6, because some of those did sell as a buy it now, but you do have the Charizard and a few others. Very excited to see what the future holds, both with eBay, potentially with PWCC, and eBay Live looming down the line. I mean, I don't have any kind of a commitment. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. But like, Fanatics Live is a thing. PWCC is owned by Fanatics. I think they're going to be doing some future rebranding, renaming. We'll be interested to see how that all goes. Who knows? Who knows what might happen in the future? We'll just have to see. But yeah, very, very excited to see how this auction block ends. I mean, the last hurrah, the last time getting 0% rates. One thing that I did with my consigners is minimum $5. So everything should have been plus 250, 250 plus. Anything that ends sub 250, I'm going to charge a minimum $5 fee. But I did offer to my consigners, instead of the 4% rate, if it goes above 10,000, it will still be the 1% fee that I used to do. I used to be 1% above 10,000, 2%, 2% was between 5 and 10,000, and then sub 5,000 was 4%. So even sub 5,000, as long as it's more than 250, these will all be charged a fee of only 2%. And obviously, whether it's with PWCC, whether it's with eBay in the future, potentially both options being there, auction, buy it now, whatever it may be, the rates will be higher. There's no way around that. There are no, even the Probsteins, even the DC Sports, even the highest of the high end in sales volume, nobody is offering 1%. The 1% could only have happened because of the too good to be true, no longer to exist 0% rates that the eBay Vault offered. Obviously, even at the outset, no one thought 0% was going to last forever. They said originally 3% buyer's premium was going to be the long-term plan. And unfortunately, that's not a thing. But again, you don't sit around and you don't sulk. You pivot, you make decisions, and you move your business ahead in the best way that you can see. And yeah, that was just a quick overview of everything that will be available for sale. Again, ending between 6 and 8:30 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday, and between 9 and 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, Sunday, May 26th. So check out the affiliate link below. Let me know in the comments below. Did you utilize my service? Did you utilize my consignment service? What did you think about it? What could have been better? What did you like better than other ones? Had you utilized any others? And do you think potentially in the future working with another company, another platform? I mean, there are consignment services out there that work entirely on their own environment, that work entirely on their own website. I don't really want to go that route. One thing that I really like personally as a business is the amount of inbuilt tax compliance that PWCC and eBay give. And PWCC, honestly, talking about pros versus cons, everything has pros and cons. Everything is a trade-off. eBay, overall, larger, bigger buyer pool. But as I said earlier, PWCC, I've seen a lot of things that perform well. I don't think you can chuck anything to PWCC that you would chuck to eBay. And I think certain things that you might chuck to eBay would actually perform better over on PWCC. There's something to be said about the mid and high end over there. So I'm very interested to see where all this goes. And the optimization problem, as an engineer formerly, so much of my job was just optimizing for efficiency, optimizing for dollar-wise, for safety, for whatever. Here it's like platform optimization for the card, optimizing for what I can make hourly rate. Obviously, fundamentally, I'm a business, so optimizing for that front between what percent of my business do I do flipping, what percent of my business do I do consigning. How do those things work together? So sometimes the whole can be greater than the sum of its parts. Like I could put all my time in a week into flipping. I can put all my time in a week into consigning. I think with the right blend of the two, I can achieve a higher individual business income, salary essentially, than doing one or the other on its own. And then honestly, even if it was at the sacrifice of making some amount of money, it just spreads your risk, right? Like capital intensive side, my own flipping, buying collections, putting out $54,000 to buy a single collection. A fair bit of risk involved in that, a fair bit of capital. The consigning side, you're able to do it not entirely risk-free, not entirely costless. Like I have to maintain an insurance policy. It takes a lot of time. Different type of job too. More customer service, facilitating directly with the customers. But yeah, just the standard Dan Ramble, little bit of self-promo. Nice to throw in there. That's everything. If you've got anything, feel free to let me know. Always look forward to replying to all the comments. Small enough channel still, and probably forever, to reply to all the comments. Though I've had decent growth lately, and I thank you all for that. If you haven't, you probably have. Like, sub if you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all later.